I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
And this is The Coin Show. On this episode of The Coin Show, Matt tells us about Coal Mine Scrip. We review Ken Bressett's Money of the Bible, and we talk about the coolest thing to walk into Matt's shop this week. But first, as always, the National Money Show is coming to Atlanta this February. Join the American Numismatic Association at the Cobb Galleria Center for 3 days of buying, selling, education, and fellowship. The show will feature 600 dealers ready to buy and sell, top-notch courses in grading and counterfeit detection, and amazing rarities on display in the museum showcase. Admission is free for all on Saturday, March 1st, or you can become an ANA member and receive free admission to all ANA shows. Sign up today at nationalmoneyshow.com. Matt, the last call has come at the United States Mint for 2013.
So they're about to shut the lights out, right?
Well, no. The United States Mint has posted a last call on many of their items, including the 5-Star Generals commemoratives, the 2012 America the Beautiful Silver Proof Set, the Girl Scouts commemorative coins, the 2012 Proof Platinum American Eagle, and the First Spouse Gold coins for 2012 in both uncirculated and proof.
Seems like they had a lot of 2012 stuff left over.
Well, as usual, the Mint, tries to keep them up for as long as they can, particularly when, the case like with the First Spouse coins, they didn't go up until really late last year.
Yeah, that's true.
So, they let them go for almost an entire year, and now just as the 2013 First Spouse Gold are coming out, they're pulling the plug on the 2012. So, what I remember that they used to do was they used to have like the proof sets out, and then they would cut them off like right before they started selling the next year's proof set. And it seemed like that was a pretty good system.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it seems like it did make for more brisk sales on proof sets when they did that, but
it also.
But the Mint never really gave a hoot about the secondary market. So.
No, but it created a sense of urgency for people. It was something where, okay, we are going to cut this off. Now it's like, well, do you really want one? Let's wait. Let's see what's going. And I just don't think that helps.
Yeah.
The sales. And as far as the secondary market goes, I'm kind of with the Mint. I don't worry so much about the secondary sales.
Well, of course not. I do, but you don't.
Well, no, but I mean, I'm not concerned with it because I think that they sell them for a long enough period, to where everybody can pretty much get it. It's not like it's a short window like with some of these limited edition products.
Yeah, and that's the stuff that helps the secondary market. That's the stuff that people can actually make money on. So yeah.
Unfortunately, everybody thinks they're Howard Hughes in that regard, though, and they try to.
That's from my dealer side of things, though.
Okay. Well, there are dealers out there. Dealers serve a good purpose. We need to have a place to buy things.
Yep.
And to sell people. We need people to sell stuff to.
That's true. Very true.
And God knows you provide that service.
I try.
Yes. The Royal Canadian Mint has introduced new security features for the 2014 Silver Maple Leaf coins.
Oh, I wondered when somebody was going to do this.
Yes. This is, just kind of showing off, if you ask me. They've replaced the bullion finish associated with the silver maple leaf since its introduction in 1988. They now have a precise radial lines that emanate from the center of the coin on both the obverse and the reverse.
Whoa.
And the lines are matched from die to die and coin to coin.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures of them. That's pretty neat.
It is pretty neat, and it is going to be a defining feature of these coins.
Well, yeah. I mean, with the Chinese counterfeits getting so bad,
Yes.
that makes good sense to me.
It does. It's amazing that you have to actually counterfeit proof a precious metal coin that you should be able to just weigh. I mean, it's like if it's the right size and it weighs the correct amount, it should be correct. And yet
but the thing is, they can get them really close.
I
and
know
that's the scary part.
That is the frightening part because now I don't know. It's scary that it's worth it to take the time to actually do this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that's the frightening part.
That is true.
Now, the specific width and pitch of the line radiating from the coin's central maple leaf design create a light diffracting pattern, which is unique to the Mint's next generation silver maple leaf, and unmatched by competing bullion products, the Royal Canadian Mint said in a news statement.
I wonder if they would, if you put one of those in the PCGS coin scanner, if it would short it out or something crazy.
I don't know. Maybe they'll have to adjust it.
Yeah.
And they've also they've added a laser engraved maple leaf to the coin's reverse. Centered within the maple leaf is the number 14, denoting the coin's year of issue, and visible only under magnification. This particular security element was introduced in 2012 on the Canadian $1 and $2 coins, and then added to the gold maple leaf coins last year. So, beginning in 2014, and going forward, silver maple leaf bullions will have the radial lines finished background.
That's pretty neat.
And the micro-engraved laser mark is also permanent, with the centered numeral inside of the maple leaf being, adjusted year by year.
Sure, yeah.
And the bullion coins will keep their other traditional obverse and reverse designs. And it's going to be basically the same coin, but I mean this is when they've started now.
They gussied it up.
Authentic, but they've now started authenticating coins.
Yeah.
It was that a $100 bill needed it, and the $100 bill needed it. But now all these bullion coins. I'm gonna just stick to hard money. Hard money is what I can trust. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
You may not be able to trust that either.
The Chinese screwed that up too.
Yeah, man, they're in everything.
Yes, they are. That's how bad it's getting, though. That seriously, I read more and more stories all the time about people getting nailed with fake bullion. So this will be nice. Just make it really, really, really hard for them to duplicate and not worth their time and effort. Then they might quit.
You would hope so, but to be really honest with you, if it is of negligible cost to add to the current coin, it will be of same negligible cost to add to the Chinese counterfeit.
That's a good point.
And that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure they have laser etching quite yet in the counterfeit factories, but
they're working that one out as we speak. I'll bet.
Probably.
It's like we're gonna need to certify our bullion now. You and I for years have said don't buy certified bullion.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna need.
Well, they're gonna have to start putting RFID chips in them and stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
CAC stickers on your bullion. This one is genuine.
We should start a new service that puts a genuine sticker on a slab.
The Coin Show Certification Service.
Too many C's and S's.
Yeah, way too many.
CS.
And it just sounds like you're saying yes.
Well, hey, no, that's a good marketing.
I like that.
That's good marketing. But yeah, I think we should do that because that would be awesome.
Yes. Also, the 2013 W uncirculated American Gold Eagles have sold out.
Awesome.
Now, this year's coin was only available in a 1-ounce version, as it has for 3 years now. There were none made in 2009 or 2010, but in 2006 through 2008, they were made in fractional sizes as well. The 2011, 2012, 2013 have only been the 1-ounce coins.
Yeah.
And they have now sold out for the year, so all of your mint released, gold bullion coins, now you have to go through the secondary market to get them.
I wonder when they're going to start popping out 5-ouncers.
You know what? A 5-ounce gold coin? Let's think about that for a minute. That's like a $3,500 coin?
Yeah, but I mean, they're out. They're. I guarantee you, there's a market for it, and some countries already do it. So
Yeah. And then they'll have to have certificates and armed guards and all that.
well, you don't think they do already?
Yeah. Fort Knox. Yes, you have. Let's see. You have the America the Beautiful quarter program that they've created now into a 5-ounce hockey puck. You have the 5-ounce gold hockey pucks.
Those would probably be like almost real hockey puck size.
Hey, you could do the thing with the NHL. Golden hockey pucks.
Yeah, that would hurt to get hit with one of those.
Ouch. The U.S. Mint has partnered with the Bureau of I can never get this right. The U.S. Mint has partnered with the Bureau of Engraving and Printing to offer BEP products at the U.S. Mint gift shops during the holidays.
Well, that's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
Just at their storefronts, though, and not on the website?
That's the thing. It seems that the two have product lines that dovetail, together and will complement each other well. Unfortunately, this is only great news for the people who visit the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, because now they can get all the U.S. Mint products that they want in the gift shop in Washington, D.C. But you can't get Bureau of Engraving and Printing products at the mints or at... So it's kind of one of those things where it's like an additional outlet for mint products, which I just don't think we need another one.
Well, yeah. I mean, and I think it's not going to be something that, obviously the Mint, the bulk of their sales has to be from the internet because, we always talk about you just order stuff from their website and it shows up. So I think that this is probably a very, very small amount of their total gross sales.
Well, absolutely. And like I said, this is a really good idea for people that go to the BEP, because they're there and they've seen the process and, they're in the gift shop and they're looking at all the BEP stuff and now they can buy U.S. Mint products there. That's great. But I think it would be better if you reciprocated the two or if you flip-flopped the two and made it to where if you go to the U.S. Mint, you can buy BEP products.
Yeah, or they just
that you offer the BEP stuff online, or yes, even better yet, combine the stores. I think it would be a boom for BEP business.
Yeah,
and that they would pick up tons and tons and tons of business off the internet.
Because a lot of the stuff that they put out, I don't even know about because I don't bother to check their website because I don't care. But they put out some pretty cool stuff.
They do put out some really cool stuff. And if you've ever been to, like, the World's Fair of Money, you've seen some of the stuff that they put out because they do, special BEP shows there. They have the presses that they bring along, all the neat engravings that they do.
That strapping fellow that runs that press.
He is a big dude.
He's a big dude. I would not want to make him mad.
No. So like I said, if this was something that was another outlet for BEP products, I'd really be double thumbs up with it.
Yeah.
But another outlet for mint products, I kind of give it a so what. I'm sorry, I just do. Okay.
Mike gives this story a so what.
Not even thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs down. Just a so what.
So what. I like it. We should start rating the news stories.
Well, that's, this is news commentary. This has never been hard reporting of any sort. This is our opinion on the news, like it or don't.
Like the Canadian coin story gets a thumbs up for Matt. And this story gets a so what.
It gets a so what. I don't like it. It's like,
And this next story gets a, that's cool.
Well, actually, this story probably won't. Lastly, 2014 marks the year of the horse. And the Bureau of Engraving Printing is once again offering specially packaged notes with serial numbers beginning with 8888.
Oh, lucky notes.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Priced at $5.95 each. Discounts are available on multiple purchases as low as $3.95 when you order 1,000 notes or more.
Ooh.
This product is limited to 88,888 notes.
You don't say.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to get the last one.
Yeah, now see, that would be, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's too many of them. And
well, no, if you get the last one, the serial number would be all 8s.
Would it, though?
Yeah, because the first 4 digits are 8.
Right.
And then they're making 88,888.
Right.
The last one would have to be all 8s.
I'll have to do the math on that one. I'm not.
I would think.
I don't know. I mean, I would think that the last one would be 8888-9999.
That's
See,
true.
and that's the thing with these high serial number notes. You know how, okay, people buy pages of notes now and they frame them and they put them on their wall. And you kind of look at it and it's like, yeah, okay, but the serial number is like, it starts with a 6 or a 7 or
Starts
an
with
8.
3 9s.
Right, and it's like you look at it and you're like, well, it's not like these things were ever intended to circulate.
Yeah.
They're kind of a I don't
Novelty.
know, a novelty, a souvenir. And that's fine, and that's, really cool, and particularly I understand where the whole, 8888, the 88, all, the lucky stuff comes in with all, yeah. I get the whole numerology thing with it, but that just isn't exciting to me.
Yeah.
Now, the Chinese lunar calendar, anyone born in the upcoming new year of 2014, that is the year of the horse. And those born in the year of the horse are said to be clever, energetic, optimistic, and animated.
Do you know what you are?
I am.
What are you?
I am a tiger.
Oh,
I was
that's
born in the
awesome.
year of the tiger.
I'm a rat.
You're not very popular with the Teamsters, I have to tell you. See, when I was a kid, they had the year of the tiger came around, and I think it was, well, obviously it was when I was 12 years old because it's a 12-year calendar, dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I remember Frosted Flakes had a commercial, this is the year of the tiger, so I breakfast with the tiger of the year. And so I always remembered that I was born in the year of the tiger. You can find these and other news stories from the coin world on our website at coinshowradio.com. Just click on News on the top bar for our RSS news feed. Matt, over the course of the history of the United States, we have covered the evolution of many coinage alternatives.
Subscripts.
Oh,
You like that?
that's a term I was unfamiliar with. Yeah, because we've talked about fractional currency and Civil War tokens, and tonight you have something that comes from the east in the mountainous region.
Yeah, and that's where it started. Yeah, I wanted to cover, and it was actually inspired by a piece that I bought in the store this week, which wasn't anything special, but it was neat, and it kind of, sometimes I derive my inspiration for the segments from just, my everyday stuff I come across and say, that's pretty cool. So I wanted to talk about Coal Mining Scrip, and basically what this is it is money that was issued by mining companies for use in their company stores.
Now, you know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
Settler tokens.
Similar to, yeah, very similar to.
Because they were something that was kind of within the company, and this is something that, the mining companies are kind of keeping their own.
And we'll talk about some of the motivations here in just a minute about why they would have done something like this, but yeah, I think you'll find it interesting.
I'm sure there's an economic advantage in there somewhere.
Yes, exactly. Now, mining script really came around as the Industrial Revolution gained its momentum during the late 1800s and early 1900s. Obviously, there was a growing demand for coal to feed the furnaces of industry, and mining of coal began in many, if not most, states. Now, a lot of the times, especially, in the early 1900s, these mines were established in really remote and rugged areas far away from big cities and easy supply. So sometimes, and even far away from, stores and banks. So sometimes it was difficult for the mines to keep enough currency on hand to pay its miners in cash. Seeing an opportunity for more profit, the mines actually started issuing their own money, and basically miners were paid a portion of their wages in mine script.
Now, what's really funny about this is that's almost like paying people at a discount.
Pretty much, and that's kind of where the genius of it is the mines ran these stores, they stocked these stores, they did the purchasing to fill these stores, and they set the prices in these stores. So while they weren't necessarily really out of line with other stores, they were able to not only be a mine, but also be a merchant.
Well, they were able to take advantage of the markup in the product that they sold, as well as being able to take advantage of the monetary seigniorage, for lack of anything, of what they paid people.
Yeah, and that's very true. And the cool thing is they had a captive audience because, if you were 100 miles from the nearest second store, you weren't going to go anywhere else.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to look at them and go, no, I really want to be paid in cash. Okay, here, take your $20 bill. Now, where are you going to go spend it?
Yep, that's right. So the very first script we see is made of paper, and this really came in the form of chits or receipts or even booklets, and different denominations could really only be used in the company store of that particular mine. You couldn't interchange between mines because sometimes there were several mines relatively close together. But
mining fields, it makes sense, would be in one area.
Yeah, but unless they were, say, owned by the same company, you couldn't go back and forth between different mine stores. Now, by the turn of the century, 1900, token manufacturing companies began offering to mint tokens for these companies, and we see a lot of script coming out in that particular fashion. You see brass ones and copper ones, aluminum, zinc, nickel plated, and they even had some bimetallic pieces that would have had either like a nickel outer ring and a brass center. Sometimes you see lead centers and aluminum outer rings. So, and each company really had its own creative control over what they put on them. A lot of them, aren't very, very attractive as far as collecting,
nor are they ornate.
Exactly, but they're functional, and that's what they were made for. Sometimes we do see pictures, not very often, and usually the pictures are kind of boring. You see, mine equipment and stuff.
Pickaxes, good for.
Exactly. So while most of these pieces were round, we do see some scalloped ones. We also see some that do have holes in the middle. And the piece that actually inspired me to do this one was a neat piece from a mine in Columbus, Ohio. And punched out of the center of the token was a giant letter A for whatever company it was that owned that mine. They went on up through World War I and World War II. We see denominations from 1 cent through about $5. You don't see much higher than $5. And they had different sizes of coins as well, just like, coinage that was circulated in the rest of the world. The smaller denominations were usually smaller coins.
And weight made a difference, even though it was scrip and probably had no metallic value at all.
Yeah, exactly. But size.
But it's
really
custom.
What they were after.
It's right. It's what people are used to. Sure.
Wow.
Jinx.
Same thing at the same time. Now, during World War II, there was a shortage in metal that was used to make these tokens. So we see stuff struck in fiber. We see them struck in compressed cardboard, which is what that fiber would be. I've seen them in plastic, celluloid. I've even seen them in compressed rubber.
Wow.
And they come in all sorts of different colors, too. You see red ones and green ones and black ones and white ones. So it's some of the later stuff is pretty interesting. Now, this is the part of my research that I found kind of fun, was the nicknames that the miners gave these tokens. And there's a whole list of them here. I'm just going to rattle them off because they're kind of fun. They called them things such as flickers, clackers, checks, P-lolly, lightweights.
Sounds like a rapper.
I know, right? P-lolly.
P-lolly.
They called them lightweights, bingles, stickers, chink tin, and my favorite, Dugaloos.
Dugaloos.
Yeah.
Dugaloos.
So, Dugaloos. I thought that was a neat one.
Sounds like
no matter what they called them, obviously their use was strictly for the store. Now, some companies actually paid their miners exclusively in scrip each payday, and this eliminated the need to keep any currency on hand in the mine office. Now, others use scrip as credit so that miners could actually trade them back and forth and then use them at the company store. And then other mining companies offered to exchange scrip for cash at a discount. For example, if you would get paid part of your wages in cash and part of your wages in store scrip, and if you really wanted to not spend your store scrip, you could turn them back into the mine office.
Or if you really needed the cash.
Yeah, you could turn them back into the mine office at, say, a 50% discount. Some companies paid more. Very few companies paid 100%.
I would imagine that would be really the
Yeah.
exception, not the rule.
Yeah, a lot of them paid between 50 and like 75 to 80%.
It would be like people selling bullion at actual spot.
But, it does happen, but not very often.
Right.
Now, as far as collecting them goes, it would be hard to assemble a complete collection because there were just simply so many different ones issued. Now, collecting an issue by state, that might be doable depending on which state you're looking at. Like states like West Virginia, you probably couldn't do it. But like Ohio, I bet could be done.
I would imagine that West Virginia would be probably the richest state in the number of different scripts, because, so much of the coal mining community just comes from that part of the
Yep, exactly, and that's exactly why there would just be so stinking many different ones that I would bet it would be impossible to do.
But you know what I'd also bet with this stuff?
What's that?
Is that the overwhelming majority of what you see is worn.
Oh, yeah, they are, too, because they got used. I can't say I've ever seen an uncirculated piece of Coal Mine Scrip.
Well, you had no choice but to use these.
Yeah.
I mean, they were part of your wages, and you needed stuff that was in the store, and that's the only way you could buy it. I mean, that was...
Yeah, and you actually see script, too, from other kinds of mines, but it's almost exclusively from mines. Like, I've seen it from limestone mines, but basically places that were kind of remote, and they had their own general store would issue this kind of stuff. So, I always found that kind of neat. Now, most dealers tend to just pass right over these things. They throw them in token buckets. You can usually find them relatively often for not a lot of money. And believe it or not, the market lately has actually not been too bad. Script coins tend to bring between $1 and up to maybe $20 or $25 for a high denomination piece. With the average being $3 to $8 would be my best guess.
Which would make these extremely affordable and very easy to collect on virtually any budget.
Exactly, and that's the other thing I like about them is they're neat, they're cheap, and there's lots of different ones. So if you're looking to collect something on a budget, you might look at Coal Mine Scrip.
Matt, I thought that since we're doing book reviews,
yeah,
and we have this nice little donut hole between Hanukkah, Ramadan, and Christmas.
Christmas, sure.
All coming right here in the end of November, beginning of December.
Mm-hmm.
I'm typically not a tremendously, religious or spiritual person, but I thought that even from a layman's perspective, that this book was really, really interesting. And so I've decided that I was going to review a new book actually it's the third edition of a book that is written by the author of Guidebook to United States Coins.
Okay.
Ken Bressett.
Mm-hmm.
He does more than just write fact-filled cataloging books. Ken wrote a book called Money of the Bible.
Wow, this is kind of out of your comfort zone, my friend.
It is completely out of my comfort zone, but
I like that.
I will. Yeah, it's okay for me to be uncomfortable every once in a while, and hopefully I won't make everybody else uncomfortable in the process. But one of the greatest books in all of history is the Bible, and it's been read by more people than any other published work ever.
Oh, I bet.
In fact, people have been sharing the stories in the Bible for longer than it has been a book.
Yeah, sure.
Now, translated from the three most ancient languages on earth, the text has been studied more than any other writing in the history of the world. And in these studies, historical context has helped us to validate and understand the meaning of many of the passages. History has been preserved through the text of the Bible. Now, coin collectors are more than people interested in money. Coin collectors are people who collect snapshots in history. Mm-hmm. And many study the times of their coins in order to develop a deeper understanding of how they came to be, how rare they are, and how to develop the context of what they were in their own time.
Mm-hmm. And the kind of people that use them.
Yes. Ken Bressett has done just that with the most published work of all time. Money of the Bible is a history lesson rather than a theology lesson. Instead of focusing on the people in the stories of the Bible, Bressett focuses on the mentions of money and through the context of the verses identifies the exact coins that are being used. Now, of course, the stories in the Bible start before the dawn of man and historically work forward. Bressett starts with explaining a bit about this historical work and how it was written. To his credit, he makes no assumptions about the reader and makes this a great book for people who have little to no knowledge on the subject, as well as for people who may know a bit more. He gives a chronology of the ancient world and its development and into the first centuries of the modern era, giving the reader insight into the world and the times about which the book will focus. He also explains what was used for money and how trade was facilitated before coins. So, he shows that at one time money was just gold bracelets.
Yeah.
And it was, lumps of metal that people were able to find value in exchange. Bressett then sets out on a quest to confirm and verify as many of the stories and as much of the text as he can through known numismatics, matching up stories and teachings with actual coins of the region and the era. Now, it's only my opinion, but I think that Ken Bressett's intention was to find every numismatic reference that he could find within the Bible and verify the stories through the facts that we know about the actual coins today. Now, my favorite part of the book was a chapter on parables, lessons, and coins. Bressett gives the text of the parable directly from the Bible and then shows us the exact coins, being referred to. He helps to verify the facts of the stories by breaking it into things that can be determined, and then puts these elements together to create a deeper meaning. Now, stories like the lost coin, the widow's mite, and the Good Samaritan gain new context because they are united with a piece of history that we can identify. It makes the parables seem less like general life lessons and more like actual stories about real people. Stories selected as examples from real life in order to convey moral teachings. Bressett then goes on to verify as much as he can of the story of the crucifixion, possibly the most told story in Christianity, through the coins that were used in that place and time. And he finishes with examples of coins that illustrate the spread of Christianity in the early years of the modern era, and also tells the stories of coins that feature people from the Bible that have been made since. Now, the book is what I would term a coffee table size book. It measures 10 inches wide and over 12 inches tall. And it's a beautiful book to look at. The illustrations pull you right in, and they envelop the reader in a journey that includes, the greatest story ever told, as well as many others. I've long appreciated the hobby books published by Whitman, if not only for this reason alone. Their level of illustration sets their books apart from all the rest. And many a guest will have their interest piqued if this were in front of them for very long on your coffee table.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would think that even, just sitting out on a coffee table, people sitting there, hey, wow, what is this? Because the illustrations are that bright and that vivid.
Wow, yeah, I haven't handled previous copies of it, but believe it or not, I do get folks that come into the store asking about coins that they've seen in this book to purchase.
Oh, you mean in Money of the Bible?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we get people that are looking for widow's mites and Tiberius tribute pennies and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, for those of you that would think this is a book published mostly for those of faith, I would disagree. I would rather say that if you have an interest in biblical study, that this is a fresh angle for you to view on many of these stories. If, however, biblical times and study aren't necessarily your cup of tea, this is a great book for boiling down the legends and examining the artifacts for themselves, and truly learning to appreciate an area of ancient coins that is not only rich in history, but also very well documented. These are the coins that are probably the best documented of any of the ancient coins because there is so much written about that time and that area of the world.
And actually, another thing I just remembered is NGC actually did a promotion, I believe, when they first issued this book. And they actually had some special labels created that said, coins of the Bible, page, so on and so on. And it would actually, have one of those particular coins in it.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember seeing some of those.
That'd be kind of cool to pick up to go along with your copy of the book.
No, I don't know with the updated versions if the page numbers are still going to be the same. But
Yeah, but still, I mean, I've never seen one of those slabs. I just think it'd be kind of cool to have.
I've had a few, and mostly they've been the really common stuff. But I have seen it before.
Money in the Bible can shed a great deal of light on people, times, and customs that we generally have only learned about from a moral perspective. It brings them to life in realistic and more understandable terms. It reminds us that the Bible is a book filled with stories about people. Kenneth Bressett has made it a mission to make these stories reappear as actual history and presents it as history rather than a tale of religion or supernatural power. Mm-hmm. He's brought this piece of the heavens back down to earth where it started, so that we can trust that it not only is a real book, but is a book about real people. For the layman as well as the biblical scholar, context adds value to this text. Coins provide the lens that allow us to view it as believable. Now, congratulations in my eyes to Ken Bressett on helping to take something that we know and help us learn something that we may not know. You know, he's taken a text that is traditionally only viewed from a single angle and given us a look from new perspectives. Mm-hmm. Perspectives that may have already been on our radar, but we may have been hesitant to use for this work.
Very cool. So what do you rate this? I mean, what kind of, is this a book that you would recommend?
This is a book that I think is neat to have in your numismatic library, obviously, because I'm recommending it. But I think that if you have, you know, just it's a great coffee table book. It's something to kind of lay out as maybe, I hate to look at it almost like a bait for your friends to, hey, wow, you know, look at this, you know, and then all of a sudden you can kind of start a conversation about coins or about, you know, the Bible or whatever you want. But it's another way to kind of open up that subject to get people talking.
It's like a conversation landmine.
It is, you know, that's a nice little title for it. We'll call it a conversation landmine.
Yeah, well,
because you step on this and all of a sudden, bam! You know, you got tons of things to talk about.
Yep, that's where I was going with that. Good, I'm glad you picked that up.
Yes, I did. Yes, it's a improvised explosive device.
An improvised educational device.
There you go.
Right.
Improvised. It's an IED.
Oh boy!
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm actually probably going to get myself a copy of this because I've heard about it and I don't have a copy, so I should probably get one.
You probably should.
And so should you.
Okay, Matt. So
Yes, sir.
You said that you were inspired for your coal mining scrip topic by something that you looked down on your desk. Mm-hmm. And obviously that wasn't the coolest thing that walked into your shop this week.
No, it wasn't. And this week was actually really hard because we had a pretty good week as far as neat stuff was concerned. So it was a little hard for me to kind of narrow it down to one piece. But I got one. And, you know, it might not have been the rarest thing that walked in, but it's something that I don't see very often, especially in this kind of condition. So that's why I picked it this week.
Okay, is it precious metal?
It is not precious metal. It's made out of copper.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then this must be something really cool.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. And this week, the coolest thing that walked in was a 1797 British 1 penny, which is the cartwheel, if you've ever seen those, the big guys.
Okay, so this is, wow, okay, a whole penny.
Yes.
So this thing's like a really big coin. It's like the size of an Ike dollar.
It is about the size of an Ike dollar in diameter, but it's very thick.
Even thicker?
Oh, much, like probably 5 times as thick.
What was this thing worth?
Well, it was a penny back in that period, but it's, you know, think about this. This is 1797. A long time ago.
It sounds like a sewer cover the way you're talking about it.
It is. It amounts to about that. It's probably a good, I don't know the exact measurement off the top of my head, but I would say pushing 2.5 inches across, and probably about half an inch thick.
Jeez.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
a big
a
dude.
metal.
It is, and it's really big. And the cool thing about this is we see cartwheels relatively often because they were so big, people like them, and they collect them. The thing was, this particular coin was in a PCGS MS64 holder.
Oh, wait a minute. 1797
7.
MS64.
MS64, yeah. PCGS MS64. And these coins were so big and heavy that it just took one drop to make this coin have a rim ding. All you had to do was drop it once.
Wow.
And it would have to land the wrong way, and it has a rim ding. So you see a lot
It's
of
got
these
a big
coins,
rim, so that's not hard to do.
Yeah, you see a lot of these coins with rim dings. You see a lot of these coins with damage. And so to find one in a nice mint state condition is very, very hard in the first place. Because, I mean, some of these coins were even damaged just from transferring them from the coining press to the bag.
Yeah, I was going to say, even just banging around the bag, they've got to be just like hammering each other. Yeah. And then they're copper, which is relatively soft to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about something that has got to be exceedingly rare.
They're pretty rare. PCGS is only graded, I think, 10 or so in this grade, maybe 10 or 12 higher.
And this one you said came in slabbed.
It did. It came in slabbed. The customer had inherited a large collection of coins, which I had bought some previous to the U.S. coins. And he had went ahead and purchased a PCGS membership because he had some pretty heavy-duty American stuff that he had gotten certified. So he went ahead and got these coins certified just so that it was, just so everybody was on the same page when we were buying and selling them. Basically.
Okay, so this coin is recently certified, too.
Recently, and actually...
So there's no upgrade potential or anything there.
Yeah, and it's in a Secure Plus holder, too. So there is no upgrade ever.
Okay, yeah, you're right, because they've scanned this one, and they now know they have its profile on file.
They do. So that was the coolest thing. Like I said, this week was there was a lot of neat stuff, so it was hard to kind of nail it down to one particular piece.
Well, wait a minute, not so fast. So it came in an MS64 holder. What are your plans for it?
I want to probably look at it for a little while because I like it. And then eventually I'll
one gets the special place on Matt's desk for a week or so?
It does, yeah. It'll get lost on my desk for a week.
It kind of gives it the longing stare. Every once in a while looks around the corner there and is waving at him. It's like, oh, yeah, that's nice.
But, yeah, so that's where it'll end up. And then eventually it'll be for sale. Value-wise, it's not all that expensive for a copper coin of that period. I think I haven't actually nailed down my pricing on it yet, but it's going to be somewhere in like the $7 to $8.50 neighborhood, just guessing off the top of my head.
$7.50 for a copper coin that was, I mean, it wasn't even a week's wages at the time.
Yeah, I don't know what the payment was, but also if you look, some of the research I did on this was, if you've ever heard of the measurement pennyweight, this was actually the penny. This is 1 pennyweight.
Oh, pennyweight. Pennyweight refers to
the weight of 1 penny.
Right, but I mean, what do they measure in pennyweight?
Metals. I actually use it when we buy scrap jewelry. My refinery measures in pennyweights.
Okay. I was thinking pennyweight in nails.
They do that too, I think.
I don't think so. I think it has to do with the size it's a gauge, but that's what I was thinking.
That may be too, but yeah. When we buy scrap jewelry, we use pennyweights. There's 20 pennyweights to an ounce.
Oh, okay, so it breaks it down a little bit more finely for you.
Yeah. Yep. So
okay. And
that's just a neat little tidbit.
Okay, so this one's going to sit for a while, and then you're going to send it off on its merry way. But you don't have a customer in mind for it, or?
No, and that's this is one of those coins that's just so cool that I don't really have to have a customer in mind. I think the coin will sell itself.
This is one that goes in the case and kind of attracts its own.
Yeah, case
moth.
candy.
We would like to thank our contributors, the Facebook friends, Twitter followers, people who wrote to ask us questions or in some other way inspired us. Our thanks to the great folks at the American Numismatic Association for their support. Visit them at money.org. The new website is coming. The new website, money.org, is coming. One if by land, two if by sea. Our thanks to Tony Alvarez and the Tony Alvarez Band for our theme music. Visit them at TonyAlvarezBand.com. We'd also like to thank May Otley for our bumpers. Her site is hannahmayotley.wix.com/portfolio. But while those people are important contributors to the show, their importance absolutely pales in comparison to you, the listeners, without whom this entire endeavor would be completely pointless. We love our audience, and we love our audience contributions. Send us your thoughts. Email us at Mike or Matt at coinshowradio.com, or you can also ask us questions. Send a question to questions@coinshowradio.com. Visit our webpage, conveniently located at coinshowradio.com. There you'll find Matt's articles or my book reviews. We've been doing book reviews, and we link to the books on Amazon for your holiday shopping needs.
So you can go buy them.
That's right. We also have pictures and bios if you're interested in knowing what we look like, or if you want to create internet memes. You can also visit our listener map, and there you can place a pin and show us where you live. We're still running the contest to give away a copy of Beth Deischer's Cash in Your Coins, Selling the Rare Coins You've Inherited. Go to cashinyourcoins-book.com. There you'll find the name of 3 books for sale. Email me a list to mike@coinshowradio.com, and you'll be entered to win an autographed copy of the book. We'll take all the entries that were received by Christmas this year, 2013, and we'll pick a winner. If you don't get in, it's your own fault. Like us on Facebook. Come and comment on one of our posts, or post something of your own. Just try and keep it coin related. Follow us on Twitter. There you will occasionally find some exclusive content as well. You can find us or even mention us in your discussion. We are at The Coin Show. If anyone has noticed, we've been posting a new coin fact every day on Facebook and Twitter, just for your entertainment.
And your knowledge.
Yes, and your continued
That's another
knowledge.
one of those improvised educational devices.
Yes. We also have a new page on Pinterest where we'll post pictures of the cool things that walk into Matt's shop and other coin-related pictures. You can find us there. We're also The Coin Show. You can also listen to our show on Coin Talk as well as other coin forums. If you'd like to host a player on your website, just email me for details. If you have an Android phone, we have an app for that, and it's available on Amazon.com for only $1.99, downloaded several million times. We also now have a Windows 8 app available at the Windows 8 Phone App Store. I actually saw this. It works. It's there.
Cool.
And as always, our show is available for free on iTunes. We urge you to download our show and share it with a friend. More people are finding us and sharing our show every day. Be the first one to hear each show, and you'll win the accolades of the Teaming 10. So for The Coin Show, I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
And we'll talk to you next time on The Coin Show.
I like that.
I try making those different just for your edification.
That was good. I like that. That was nice.
Okay. The news is brought to you by the American Numismatic Association. The National Money Show is coming to Atlanta Friday, February 27th through Saturday, March 1st. Sign up today at nationalmoneyshow.com.
Wait a second. Friday the 27th to Saturday the 1st.
To Saturday, March 1st. I know. That's messed up.
There's a missing day.
Well, yeah, there's an entire day missing, and
Let's just say Thursday, the 27th.
Thursday the 27th through Saturday, March 1st.
There you go. So I just heard that, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's a...
I mean, I know
you're going to step in a time
short month and all, but
they're
damn.
going to go through a time zone.
21 gigawatts.
That's right. Okay. The coolest thing... No. The news is brought to you by the American Numismatic Association. The National Money Show is coming to Atlanta Thursday, February 27th through Friday, March 1st. Sign up today at nationalmoneyshow.com.
Much better.
Or you could just listen to The Coin Show, and you can find out how to win a free ANA membership.
Ooh.
Yeah, baby.